Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to World War Sprue. Today I'll be doing a video on a free wargaming rule set that I use in a lot of my videos, and I will be using throughout the entire course of my incoming Operation Sea Lion campaign. The name of the rule set is Heroes All, but today we will be talking about not only Heroes All, but also the Fight Your Own Battles mechanics. These are free rules made by Barry Miltenberg, and I will leave a link to them in the description. To begin with, what you need to fight your first battle of Heroes All you need 8 men. Right here, 8 German soldiers. They have a light machine gun attached, but you don't even need that. 8 German soldiers fighting 8 British soldiers. Take the light machine guns out. Now today I'll be using more units to better showcase how the rules work, but that's all you need to begin with. Before we get started, I wanted to point out there are codex cards that are used for all the units in this game. There's 3 kind of codex cards. There are the rules reference cards. You can download those on the website. There are the national codex cards. So these depict specific vehicles for that nation. So here we have the A13 Mark III, the Beaverette, and the 38T codex cards. You can print them in color, I just didn't want to use colored ink. Finally, we have the generic weapons codex cards, rifles, pistols, submachine guns, etc. Choose out the cards from the national pool that you will need for the game you're playing and the generic pool, plus get all of the rules reference codex cards. You can download these for free on the website. In Heroes All and Fight Your Own Battles, each unit has a rating, a non-commissioned officer NCO rating. To figure out what the rating is, you're going to grab a D6 for that unit, take it, roll it, and depending on what the roll is, that'll tell you what their rating is. So all these units are regular. When you roll a regular unit, on a roll of 1, they are a poor non-commissioned officer. On a roll of 2 through 5, they are a regular officer. They're just normal dudes. On a roll of 6, they are an above average non-commissioned officer. So that'll give you some advantages when rolling. You're going to do that for every unit in your force. After you've rated them all, I recommend marking it down on the card sheets. I've showed those off in several videos beforehand, and you can go back and watch my solo war game where the Panzers attack for more on that. I'm going to skip how you do activations. However, after you've decided who's going, next thing you need to do is pass their officer reaction test. So here is our officer reaction test. I'll give you a quick look at that. And so now, with our cautious officer, we're going to throw an actual officer reaction test. So we're going to take a D10, roll it, and see what the result is. We rolled a 3. So because he is a cautious officer, he does not activate. However, had we rolled a 7, then he would activate as normal. And had we rolled a 10, he would seize the initiative. When an officer seizes the initiative, he may give his activation to another one of his friendly units. He does not swap activations. The friendly unit must pass an activation, and even if they do seize the initiative, they can't give it to anyone else. But when they use their activation after seizing the initiative, they don't have to pass their officer reaction test again. In a game of Heroes All, you only have to pass your officer reaction test once per round. So, in Heroes All, as I have showed in several of my videos beforehand, you basically roll 1 dice for each unit on the board, plus an extra 1 for every 3 units. So there's 5 units, so we'd roll 6 dice. And depending on what you roll, that's what you can do. So a 1 is, let's say we get 1 of each. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 is a fire order, 2 is move, 3 is observe, 4 is act, 5 is communicate, 6 is a wild card / re-roll a failed ORT. In Fight Your Own Battles, after passing your officer reaction test, you must roll a d6. We'll be using the d3 table for that. So on a roll of 6, you act, which is observe, get into, out of vehicles. You can find more about that in the rules. On a roll of 5 or 6, so a d3 of 3, you act. On a roll of 3 or 4, you move. And on a roll of 1 or 2, you fire. Now, you do not have, just because you rolled a 1 or 2, does not mean you have to shoot. But if you choose to move or act when you roll a roll of fire, you can then not fire. Same thing for moving. If you roll a 3 and let's say you want to shoot, well, then you can shoot, but you can't move after you shoot. You have to do your movement first or not at all.